Sri Koswe, lecturer from Praveen Patil Polytechnic, Bhayandar. My topic is Measuring Instrument Part 2. Learning Outcomes. In this video, you will learn about voltmeter ammeter method, substitution method, and Kelvin's double bridge. So first is voltmeter ammeter method. So there are two types of connection for this method. In the first connection, the voltmeter is connected across the load, that is R, and the second connection, ammeter is connected in series with the load. Let RA is the resistance of the ammeter, which is very small, and RV is the resistance of the voltmeter, which is of a large value, and R is the resistance to be measured, V is the reading of the voltmeter, and I is the reading of the ammeter. Figure A shows the connections for measurement of low resistances. Here, 1 is equal to IV plus IR is equal to V upon RV plus V upon R. So, V upon R is equal to 1 minus V upon RV. So, we get R is equal to V upon 1 minus V upon RV. This is the equation number 1. If RV is very high, we can write it as R is equal to V upon I. Equation number 2. So in this way you can calculate the value of resistance. Figure B shows the connections for measurement of high and low resistances. Here V is equal to IRA plus IR. So IR is equal to V minus IRA. R is equal to V upon I minus RA. Equation number 3. If the value of RA is very small, we can write it as R is equal to V upon I. So by the ratio of voltmeter reading to the ammeter reading, we can calculate the resistance. Next method is substitution method. So this is the diagram for substitution method. In this you can see the R is the adjusting resistance, E is the battery, there is a two-way switch, and R is the unknown resistance and S is the standard resistance, which is a variable resistance. The figure shows the circuit diagram for resistance measurement of an unknown resistance R. S is the standard variable resistance and R is the regulating resistance. First, the switch is placed at position 1 and the ammeter is made to read a certain amount of current by varying R. The value of ammeter reading is noted. Now the switch is moved to position 2 and S is varied in order to achieve the same ammeter reading as it read in the initial case. The value of S for which ammeter reads same as in position 1 is the value of unknown resistance R, provided the EMF source has constant value throughout the experiment. Next is the Kelvin's bridge. The Kelvin's bridge is used for measuring the unknown resistances having a value less than 1 ohm. It is modified form of the Wheatstone bridge. What is the need of Kelvin's bridge? Wheatstone bridge used for measuring the resistance from a few ohms to several kilo ohms, but error occurs in the result when it is used for measuring the low resistance. This is the reason because of which the Wheatstone bridge is modified and the Kelvin's bridge obtains. The Kelvin's bridge is suitable for measuring the low resistance. So modification of Wheatstone bridge. In Wheatstone bridge, while measuring the low value resistance, the resistance of their lead and contact increases the resistance of their total measured value. This can be easily understood with the help of this circuit diagram. So this is the circuit diagram. In this you can see there are contact resistances R1 and R2 and EMF E. The R is the resistance of the contacts that connect the unknown resistance R to the standard resistance S. The aim and N show the range between which the galvanometer is connected for obtaining a null point. When the galvanometer is connected to point M, the lead resistance R is added to the standard resistance S. Thereby, the very low indication obtains for unknown resistance R, and if the galvanometer is connected to point N, then the R adds to the R, and hence the high value of unknown resistance is obtained. Thus, at point N and M, either very high or very low value of unknown resistance is obtained, and this is because of this contact resistance. So instead of connecting the galvanometer from point M and N, we choose any intermediate point, say D, where the resistance of lead R is divided into two equal parts, that is R1 and R2. So R1 divided by R2 becomes P upon Q, equation number 1. The presence of R1 causes no error in the measurement of unknown resistance. So we can write it as R plus R1 is equal to P upon Q in bracket S plus R2. From equation 1, we get R1 upon R1 plus R2 is equal to P upon P plus Q. So R1 is equal to P upon P plus Q into R, as R1 plus R2 is equal to R. So R2 is equal to Q upon P plus Q into R. So R plus P upon P plus Q into R is equal to P upon Q in bracket S plus Q upon P plus Q into R. So finally, by solving this equation, we get final equation as R is equal to P upon Q into S. The above equation shows that if the galvanometer connects at point D, then the resistance of lead will not affect their results. The above mentioned process is practically not possible to implement. For obtaining the desired result, the actual resistance of exact ratio connects between the point M and N, and the galvanometer connects at the junction of the resistor. So this is the Kelvin's double bridge circuit. The ratio of the arms P and Q are used to connect the galvanometer at the right place between the point J and K. The J and K reduce the effect of connecting lead. The P and Q is the first ratio of the arm, and small p and small q is the second arm ratio. So this is the diagram for Kelvin's double bridge. In this, you can see there are four arms P, Q, small p, small q, and capital P and capital Q. And the another resistances are R, M, small r, N, and S. And E is the battery. The galvanometer is connected between the arms small p and small q at a point D. The point D places at the center of the resistance R between the points small m and small n for removing the effect of the connecting lead resistance, which is placed between the unknown resistance R and standard resistance S. The ratio of small p and small q is made equal to the capital P and capital Q. Under balance condition, zero current flows through the galvanometer. The potential difference between the point A and B is equivalent to the voltage drop between the points EAMD. Now, EAB is equal to P upon P plus Q into EAC. So, EAC is equal to I in bracket R plus S plus P plus Q into R upon P plus Q plus R. This is equation number 1. And EAMD is equal to I in bracket R plus P upon P plus Q in bracket P plus Q into R upon P plus Q plus R, bracket complete, and EAC is equal to I in bracket P into R upon P plus Q plus R. This is equation number 2. For zero galvanometer deflection, EAC is equal to EAMD. So we can write it as P upon P plus Q into I in bracket R plus P upon P plus Q in bracket P plus Q into R upon P plus Q plus R bracket complete is equal to I in bracket P into R upon P plus Q plus R. So by solving this equation we get R is equal to P upon Q into S plus P into R upon P plus Q plus R in bracket P upon Q minus small p upon small q. As we know, P upon Q is equal to small p upon small q, then above equation becomes R is equal to P upon Q into S. So by this formula you can calculate the unknown resistance by Kelvin's double bridge method. The above equation is the working equations of the Kelvin's bridge. The equation shows that the result obtained from the Kelvin's double bridge is free from the impact of the connecting lead resistance. For obtaining the appropriate result, it is very essential that the ratio of their arms is equal. The unequal arm ratio causes the error in the result. Also, the value of resistance R should be kept minimum for obtaining the exact result. The thermoelectric EMF induces in the bridge during the reading. This effect can be reduced by measuring the resistance with the reverse battery connection. The real value of the resistance obtained by taking the means of the two. Next is the limitations of Kelvin's bridge. So first limitation is the sensitive galvanometer is used for detecting the balance condition. Second, the high measurement current is required for obtaining the good sensitivity. So nowadays the Kelvin's bridge is replaced by the Kelvin's bridge ohm meter.